Nom Nom Sat Foods. Today we are going to be making Farida Omar's chicken curry. Going along with the Theaterleer and Chardonnay. I know wine doesn't really go with curry, but couldn't find any safer beers, and wine's my preference anyway. But let's get down to the recipe. So Farida Omar was Dullah Omar's wife, Dullah Omar being Madiba's lawyer. And Dullah used to smuggle food into Pollsmoor for Nelson Mandela. Farida Omar's chicken curry recipe is pretty simple. Kilo of chicken. I have to piece this and skin it, which should be fun. Chicken stock. Wines for me. She says 2 grated tomatoes, but I'm too lazy, so I've just done a tin of chopped tomatoes, 2 onions, tomato paste, garlic, some ginger. We have to grate that up. A couple of potatoes. Cinnamon, cardamom and cloves, and then a mixture of beautiful spices. We've got ground coriander, ground cumin, turmeric and some chili. Cheers! Let's get started with the cooking. First up, we're going to fry up the cardamom and the cloves and the cinnamon in a little bit of oil, and then it'll be the butter and some onion. The point here is just to get them a little bit toasty, I suppose, and let them start releasing their aroma. That's starting to smell delicious. Let's put the next bits in. A curry trick that I learned from Madiba, whose rotis we're going to make just now to go with this curry, is that you've got to use sunflower oil, not olive oil for a curry. And you've got to let the onions really cook through, so that when it gets to eating the curry, it's almost like they disappear. They're so well cooked. It's not the star of the show, it's a flavor base. Okay, those onions are coming along nicely. Time to put the garlic in. You definitely don't want to let the garlic burn. Next up, tomato. The tomato paste. And the tomato, chopped up tomato. You can turn the heat down a bit now. We really want to let this cook through a little bit until it forms a nice thick sauce. That looks great. Once it's cooked up for a while, it's like getting a bit stodgy or saucy, I suppose. You can see the oil kind of coming to the surface. Then it's time to put the rest of the ingredients in. Put the rest of our spices, as well as the ginger. Mix that up nicely. Oh, it smells absolutely divine. Mix this all up, and then time to put the chicken pieces in. I've lightly dusted with them with some turmeric. Okay, we've browned the chicken nicely, and then we're going to add the stock. About 375 mils. That has been cooking away beautifully. Oh, the smell is just to die for. Time to chuck in some potatoes. About, I don't know, I use mini potatoes, baby potatoes, probably, I don't know, a bowl full. And then just mix it in. And then we'll probably let it cook for about another 20 minutes with the lid on, just to get all the flavors really juiced up. And then I'll let it cool down and warm up again later for dinner, because curry is always better on the second heating. One thing I miss is rotis. You get shea butters here, which are nice, and the naan breads are okay, but a proper roti is something special. I haven't had one in 3 years plus, but I found Udika's recipe. So Udika is a celebrity chef in South Africa. She had a little place called Holy Cow, which was just up the road from her old house, and she did, she sold her foods from there, but she also did cooking classes, and I did a curry class there, which was fabulous. And look here, it says, to Jessica, the best curry cook ever. So, you gotta trust me on this one. Rotis, here we go. Udika has 3 tips for rotis. Firstly, when you pour the hot water in, it has to be properly hot, like bubbling hot. Secondly, she uses sunflower oil to mix into the batter, because she says if you use butter, it gets too crispy. And the third is you got to work it fast. So I'm going to do this all without interruption, and let's hope it works. Boiling hot water going into the flour. 90 ml of sunflower oil. Great, we've got a nice dough now. And now the next step is we're going to roll it out and chop it into logs, and then there's a whole curling thing that happens. You roll it out into a long strip and then chop it up into 12 individual pieces like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to roll them into longer pieces, and then we are going to start curling them. So this is called the Udica squiggle, like that way, and the other half like that way. So you've got a squiggle like that, and then you turn them on top and squish them down. And take one of your flattened out squiggles and roll it into a round. The last step in our curry night efforts is to cook the rotis. For that we're going to need a little bit of melted butter to drizzle over, a hot pan, and our prepared rotis. The first one is always a flop, so don't hold your breath. Place the roti into the hot pan, brush with a little bit of melted butter, and then as soon as it starts bubbling a bit, then you flip it over. And there we have it, Farida Omar's chicken curry and Udica's fabulous rotis. Bon appetit, nom nom sapper food.